On today's Farm for Fun show, we head back to Texas to meet up with another farmer that's killing it on social media. This man makes nut content sexy. Peanuts, that is. A daredevil drone pilot capturing beautiful content that makes all of us novice drone pilots cringe while flying through all the tight spots. He boasts almost 75,000 followers on Instagram, over 132,000 on TikTok, 8,000 subs on YouTube from West Texas. Please welcome Mr. Oobree Martins of Oobree Farms. That's OOBREE.
You never let us down, Corey.
What is up, man?
Never let us down.
Not much. I definitely enjoyed that. That was pretty cool.
That's the podcast, and thanks for coming, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, that's probably the most anybody's ever hyped me up. I feel good.
All right, yes. And as we got started in the show, you said you jumped out of the tractor to get into the pickup to do this. What are you doing?
I am sowing rye. After harvesting peanuts, we sow rye. So getting a cover crop in.
All right, so it is a cover crop. I wondered if you were going to actually harvest the seed off the rye too.
We do from time to time. I don't as much as people around here do. I usually go for cover crop. If it does well, we get a few rains, or if hay is kind of high, we'll usually bale it. After baling, then we'll plant cotton into that next year.
So I gotta ask, you don't have the old Texas straw. Where's the accent coming from?
Whole different background, man. I was actually my background is Mennonite, so I come from Mexico. Well, I was born in Mexico still, but we moved here to Texas, West Texas, when I was 5 years old. So grew up here, but I don't have the Texas accent now because my background is still so Mennonite. So we have that.
Okay, so you still work closely with all the Mennonites and all that?
Oh yeah, they're all around here. There's lots of Mennonites around here, but they've been here a long time. I guess I live in Seminole, Texas. Yeah, there's a lot of Mennonites. I think they moved here first in the 70s and live here since. And we moved here, what was it, 98 or 99? I forget. But so yeah, like I said, I've been here since I was 5. So I grew up here, basically, you could say.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thrown off because there wasn't a southern Texas draw, an accent. I was really trying to figure out where he was from. So before we dive into more about your family farm, we always try a beverage and a concoction. We've been partnering with Busch Light on a lot of our episodes. So we're going to have a beer, but we're going to do something different with it, and it's going to take a little bit of time. So, Corey, what are we starting off with?
So have you guys seen the Brita water filter? People taking like a really crappy vodka and dumping it in there, and then they're just drinking it like water, like a Hawkeye vodka or whatever. So Tanner bought a Brita water filter, and we're going to pour some Busch Light in there. We won't try it right now, but it's going to have to filter through. But let's. So
how's that pour? Is it foaming up as you pour that in?
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it? All right, starting to come out the bottom already. All right, Oobree, let's get back to your conversation while he starts that. It's not even a distillation process, a filtering process.
I don't know. It's pretty clear coming out the bottom.
It's coming through like water.
I mean, people are going to say Busch Light's already like water, and now they're really going to say it.
All right, so Oobree, tell us more about your farm than what Corey did in the introduction. You already hinted that you're planted rye after peanuts. You do cotton. What's it look like? Who's involved?
I guess, like you said, we do peanuts and cotton. A lot more cotton than peanuts. We don't have a whole lot of groundwater left. We don't get a lot of rain, so our peanuts get all the water if we do plant them, and then cotton gets more of the side water, and hopefully it rains for the cotton. But a lot of people, they will plant just cotton, but then some of us here, we do both. But it will always be more cotton. And those are our two main crops. We'll do a little bit of hay on the side. Like now I'm planting cover crop as rye. And the main goal of that rye is for cover, but if it grows decently tall, we get a few rains from now till next March. Or if hay is high, maybe we'll irrigate it a few times, and then we'll bale it. We'll bale it actually, and then after that we'll plant cotton into that cover crop. And as far as all who's involved, I guess I am on my own. It'd be my wife and I, but I do have a big family, and they all farm as well. So. Growing up, we all worked for my dad, and then as we all got older, he got all of us into farming as we were on our own. So now we're all on our own, but everybody's there for each other. We share some equipment every now and then, stuff like that. But in the end, we're all our own decision makers. So I think that's pretty cool the way our dad decided to do it. A little less family drama.
So it's less like a normal, like a traditional where you kind of come back in and farm with your father or family, and he set you up with your own. So you have all these videos that I'm talking, guys. I don't know if you've seen his TikToks or anything, but he's got this drone and he will fly, like he would fly right through here, like through these tiny little spots. But you have like tons of combines, tons of cotton pickers in a. Is that all your family?
So most of the videos you see would be my stuff, and some of the videos would be families, and then sometimes it's a friend or a person who asked me to come out. The one video I made last year where there was like 8 Amadas peanut combines, that was a big farmer in the area.
Okay.
That was not family, but just people you know.
Yeah.
So a little bit mixed up on equipment, on the stuff I film, but majority of it would be just my equipment.
So when you were describing that, your family's still in the area and you guys work together, are you within 30 miles? Are you within 100 miles? How far away is the support system?
So we all live in the same town, and then one of my brother and brother-in-law, they actually farm in that county in Seminole where we live. And then from there, some of us we're like 20 miles from each other, and 15 and 40.
That's pretty cool.
So just surrounding counties, you take what you can get for farmland. So my farms are spread out. I have a farm north of where I live that's about 38 miles away, 40 miles from my house north. And then I have another farm that's about 45 miles east. So
yeah,
you're making a big spread.
Do a lot of driving, yep. Yeah, a lot of moving around. So
do you drive your equipment or do you haul it?
We drive it, yep. Yeah, not big enough to start hauling it. Not big enough, not worth it to go buy a standby and all that. Just for the few times we do, we just make it work. Just costs a little bit of front tractor tires,
Yeah. I know some farmers that farm for over an hour away, and they were hauling equipment first, and a lot of times I think they end up just driving it. By the time that they
hold it, got it strapped down,
there, chain it up, deal with the DOT, it's just better just to drive it. Just pay someone to drive it.
I wonder how many people are buying 2 sets of equipment and just set it on one side.
If you get far enough away, yeah.
Might be worth it.
That's what the old equipment's good for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely thought about doing that. Like, I need to make more money somehow to have just double of everything to quit moving around. But it's not bad with a tractor, hour and a half, hour, 50 minutes. And then with the slow peanut combine, they go 17 mile an hour. That's about 3 hours. But you only do that twice in 1 year with combine, so it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, and you probably just strategically, start at the east and work your way north or whichever it is. So you're not trying to bounce around back and forth.
Yep. Yeah, something like that.
What kind of drone you flying?
So I've got all kinds of drones. Right now, my big one is the DJI Mavic 3. That's the main one I fly. And then I have 2 FPV drones. One is the new DJI Avada or Avada. I don't know how people pronounce it, but I have that one, which is a FPV, like I said. Then I got another FPV. It's more of a real FPV drone, like more freestyle fast one. That was like, what's the brand on that one? I forget the brand right now, but it's an off-brand.
What's FPV?
FPV is first-person view drone flying, where you wear the goggles.
Oh yeah.
You fly through tight spaces, or you do flips and tricks. That's FPV drone flying. So I do some of that. So you'll see some of those videos randomly. Not a whole lot, but every now and then I try to get some time in to fly some. It takes a whole lot of practice and a whole lot of time to get any good at it, but it's a whole different game of drone flying, that's for sure.
Is it easier with the goggles to get in tighter spaces?
Yes, once you've learned your center point, then it is. At first, it's not. But as soon as you I've kind of learned where the center of the camera is, on your screen, on your goggles.
Yeah.
Then it's quite a bit easier. Yeah, like it's just you could say it's muscle memory, centering stuff. But that's after crashing 1,000 times.
Are they a lot more protected than like the Mavic 3? You can crash those and not much.
Certain ones are, certain ones are not. The new DJI Aveda has bumper guards built all around it. That one's more for like indoor flying and then tight space. Like that one's more made for like, all right, I'm gonna fly through the smallest spot I can. And then the racing drones, my other one's more of a racing drone. That one just has open props like your regular drones. That one, they're a lot tougher than the Mavic, of course. But that one you'll just break the props a lot, the propellers. But on my racing drone, those suckers, they're so tough. The arms are built very tough. You can hit things real fast. The arms will hardly break. Like I said, you'll break a prop. One of the first ones that DJI came out with, the FPV, that was just called the DJI FPV. That one was a piece of plastic. That one was no good. Well, it's good. It's got good power, good to fly, but very fragile. Like you'll do the smallest crash, you'll break an arm, and then you gotta send it in and get it fixed. So
with my Mavic, we're going 40 mile an hour, but that's wide open in an open field where I'm not going to hit anything. How fast are you going with an FPV?
I guess it all depends on which one. The racing one, it can go. Man, they can go up to 100 miles an hour if you want, 80.
Wow.
But that's wide open. I've never gone for the racing style, more of just freestyle or just get the rush out of it, fly through a spot where you crash and break your GoPro,
Right, exactly. Well, Corey sent me a TikTok it's probably been almost a month ago now, of the guy that was flying in under the auger, through the grain being dumped into the auger. The auger went up into the bin, and he flew in the grain bin door. I know you probably don't have a lot of grain bins down there in cotton and peanut country, but flew into the grain bin while the corn was coming into the bin, did a couple of circles, and then flew back out. Did he go out the top hatch, or did he come?
He went back out the same way he came in.
Same door, yeah. But
a couple days later, he put bloopers in, and he didn't. It got taken down a couple times by the grain.
Oh.
Because it wasn't a big. They were spreading the grain, so it was just like a constant rain of corn in the bin.
But, yeah.
I guess I saw that video. That's some good talent right there. He's that guy's, what's his name? Ponter Farms, Family Farms? I forget his name exactly, but he definitely got a little bit more talent than I do there. That was impressive.
No, that was fun to watch, and I wouldn't imagine at all.
It literally makes me cringe because I fly drones, but it's the DJIs that usually fly not in sport mode, so it's not going to let me fly into a side of a grain bin or something. And yeah, because I've broken a drone before and it's not fun.
Yeah.
I've dumped a couple. So are you like Part 107 done the drone class and everything, or just flying for fun?
Just flying for fun. I've wanted to do that. One time I looked into it. I even bought a course and then didn't follow through with it because kind of want to do more. I kind of wanted to go into some, commercial work for others, just random stuff. And then I guess started on the class and then never committed. There's a whole lot to learn that didn't make time to do it because I was annoyed at how much they wanted you to learn just to fly a drone. I'm like, I'm not going to be an airplane or
They do, and it's all airspace. It's all class this airspace, radio frequencies, et cetera, et cetera.
That's where I quit. Radio frequencies and the weather.
METARs.
Airspace.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm good. I'm most likely not going to do much commercial stuff in my life. So now it's just for hobby and I guess social media, stuff like that.
Huh.
I tell you what, I dumped 2 beers in here. I probably should have just dumped 1 because
now we're going to have to drink 2
I don't know if
beers.
we're going to be able to try it. I assume that you want to let it all drain through before you pour it.
Yeah, we got time.
I don't think so. I think you could just
But
go right
this,
there.
I tried it out with water earlier, and it was like a steady stream, and this is a slow drip.
Ooh.
There's a lot of stuff to filter out of Busch Light, apparently.
And they call
it's not
Busch
just
Light
water.
Water, yeah. Well, Oobree, I love watching your channel and what you've put up there, and I'm just fascinated. We have had another peanut farmer on before, but I don't feel like we had a chance to ask him a lot about peanuts because we were focused more on his video editing and his music talents and his brother that falls down all the time.
Bros.
Yeah. And I want to get into peanuts because I don't know, and I'm guessing a lot of our listeners don't know either. Up here in corn and soybean country, we've got planters that have seed meters and bulk boxes that we go and plant corn in rows. Is peanuts planted the same way?
Yes. Yeah. It's so my planter could you literally just switch the plates and you can plant corn, whatever corn, cotton, milo, or whatever other kind of plates they make for those planters. But we can't do on peanuts. You can't do center fill because they're too big. They break. Guys have tried it. That'd be super cool because now we have our boxes, and I put extensions on mine. Yes, you can get the 3-bushel boxes that Johnny makes. I forget what those are. Mine's is just a regular 1720, so it has the regular boxes. I put extensions on there, so now I got to fill up every 10 acres. Without those, it'd be like every 8 acres. So, but yeah, it's just a max emerge 1720 planter, 12 row on 3-point, and we plant in rows the same width as our cotton. So as soon as we get done with peanuts, all we got to do is switch the plates and then empty the boxes, pour cotton in there, and we go.
What kind of populations do you run for peanuts?
Okay, so we do very much on average. So a lot of times we talk in pounds, how many pounds we plant. So I shoot for like 100, 110 pounds an acre, and I think that equals out to around 60 to 70,000 seeds per acre.
Wow.
Around there, 60 to 70, 75. So it's around there somewhere. Since we always talk about, the pounds per acre, I always kind of forget what exactly the pop is, but I know it's in that range.
Yep. And the peanuts that you're planting, it's a regular peanut. There's no other way to get a seed off of a peanut plant. It is the nut itself. And I assume it's just look like the Fisher nuts that I eat. The peanuts that I buy in the store, they're just seed peanuts, right?
Yeah. If you eat a full peanut like that's in shell, you crack it open. That's what you plant. Just obviously not roasted, of course. And then on our conventional peanuts, they got a fungicide on them, just a red coating for cold weather and fungus, of course. And then we do some, we also do some organic farming just on peanuts. There's a good market around here for that. And those are just straight up peanuts. So those we had a little bit of issues of rotting seed. So the fungicide definitely helped.
Well, so that I feel like I rarely see a peanut whole. Like they're always split. Do you have issues with that? Can you plant a split peanut and it grow, or does that have to be the whole peanut?
So one half will come up, and the other half won't. And then it's a lot better if it's the whole peanut. When we use a J&M seed tender. That's what I have to plant peanuts, and then we got those big white bulk bags that they load them with. They're like 2,000 pounds of peanuts in there. With that, some just break, so you have a bunch of split. And then if you ever open a peanut one side, or like there's a heart in the middle, they call it a heart on top. If one half has that, it'll come up, the other half won't. So, but the best thing is if they don't split.
Right.
I imagine they stay together a little better if they're not roasted.
That's true. It haven't been packaged into containers and on my ice cream and
You put peanuts on your ice cream?
Oh yeah, peanuts and caramel sauce. It's like the best.
I guess I've seen it as a condiment.
It's like a sundae. It is a sundae.
Mm-hmm. Sundaes are still a thing?
Yes.
Didn't you grow peanuts this year?
They come right
No,
after.
I grew cotton.
Cotton?
I need some peanuts. Send some peanuts up. I want to grow peanuts next year. I wonder how they do.
Just go buy you some raw peanuts at your grocery store and plant them.
Oh, okay. It's just as easy as that. I don't know if I've ever seen a raw peanut.
Huh.
Have you seen a raw peanut?
I don't know.
Isn't a peanut in a shell? Isn't that a raw peanut?
What's a raw peanut taste like?
It's hard to describe. It's all right. A lot of people, they're snacking all day when they're harvesting.
Okay.
Not all day. After a while, it's not good. Give you a lot of gas. But I get a slight little itch from raw peanuts in my throat, so I don't go for them. Roasted, no problem, but I guess like a slight allergic reaction to it, or I don't know what it is. But
sure.
But they're not bad. A lot of people like them raw.
So even if I get peanuts in a shell, you're saying that that's not a raw peanut? If I got to crack
roasted.
So they roast the peanuts in the shells too?
Yes, yeah,
Man.
you can do that. Yeah, we actually
I
had
feel
some yesterday
dumb.
at our family gathering. Pretty good.
Just not gonna say anything.
Well, that's why I had so many questions about peanuts.
Where are most of your peanuts going to market? Like, where can we buy them in the store, or are they going into a peanut butter?
So depends which variety. So I have one variety I planted this year. They're called Span 17. They're a Spanish variety. Those were the organics. Those will go for food. Organic peanut butter, organic whatever they use them for. I forget which company they're contracted with, but the company I go through, the local company, they just we just contract with them, and then they take care of the rest. So um, I don't have to deal with any of the process after they haul it out of the field. That's all on them. So
Gotcha.
That's handy.
really, I would have to ask more questions to give you guys full detail of where each one of them is going. But the majority of the peanuts I plant are Virginias, and they're the bigger ones. They're quite a bit bigger than your typical runner peanut or Spanish peanut. And those they use more for ballpark peanuts or Texas Roadhouse in shell peanuts. Or if you see a bag at a grocery store or convenience store where they're in shell, those will a lot of times be Virginias. So they'll go for that, and if not, they go for so many other products.
Okay. Are peanut allergies real?
Apparently, yes. Apparently, it's one of the biggest food allergies, what I hear. But
I'm sure it is, but man, my daughter's at daycare. I feel like every time they go through it, can't have anything with a peanut even close to any of the kids in there. And I'm sure. And how do they even know when they're like 6 months old?
Right. And I have a wife who's allergic to chocolate.
That sounds made up.
That sounds made up.
Right. it's her grandma, her mom, and her sister and her brother, but not her sister. I don't.
Goes right to her ass.
It doesn't matter.
Right to that's the allergy.
I get all the chocolate in the household, but
Doesn't go to your ass.
she didn't want our daughters to try until they were old enough to tell us that they had a migraine, Oobree, or they had, an allergic reaction. So we've withheld chocolate from them. They're now 6 and 8. But now my 8-year-old thinks chocolate tastes disgusting,
Oh my gosh.
and my 6-year-old loves it. So now I got to battle my 6-year-old, and I got to share my chocolate now.
Our kid is allergic to peanuts, supposedly. So-called. My wife says that. So
Sounds made up.
sounds made up to me, too. Well, now it's years later, and I'm like, you're not allergic to peanuts, and he won't try peanut butter. He won't try anything with peanuts in it. And the older kids got him convinced that you cannot touch anything with peanut oil, nothing. And so now he's scared, and he won't try anything. I'm like, you're fine. You're not going to die. Just
Right.
eat the doggone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
There's an EpiPen in the closet.
there's an EpiPen in the closet. You'll be fine.
Oobree, did I miss it? Do you have kids?
yes, I have. We have one daughter, Ivy. She's a little bit over 2 years old, and then we have another one on the way. We're due January 1st, so
Well, congrats.
that's here soon, getting close. So
New Year's baby.
Thank you. Pretty exciting.
So you're going to, put peanuts in their milk to make sure that they don't have a peanut allergy?
Hey, that's what they say. And introduce her early, so we might have to do that one. But with Ivy, we just I don't know how early we gave her peanut butter, but peanut butter is a good treat to put on apples and stuff.
Yeah.
We did it early on. I don't know for that reason, but just here's some apple slice with peanut butter on it. And so far we know we're good to go, so that's good, right?
So can you make your own peanut butter with your peanuts?
I guess if you want to, yep. Yeah, we have never wanted to. I'm sure there's some people out there that do, but we just haven't messed with it.
I'm wondering how they do that. I'm thinking like an antique crock butter churn. You just put peanuts in there and mix some butter.
It's got to be pressed.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be pressed. So when you're planting these, your peanuts, are you planting on raised beds or are you planting just level ground?
I do a little bit of both. The raised beds is more common here, and especially for the organic, I have to do raised beds
Okay.
because of sand fighting. You ever heard of sand fighting?
Yeah, I have actually. What it looks like you guys use a rotary
Yeah.
hoe or whatever it is.
I use a rotary hoe. Some people actually use a sand fighter. It's called a sand fighter. It's a little different rotary hoe. It's got bigger claws. So, but yeah, I do a little bit of both. Raised beds, it has a lot of conveniences to it, and then flat planting is just more comfortable overall. I like flat planting better. all my cotton's flat planted. So, but the raised beds, it has its perks too. So that's why I do a little bit of both.
Nice.
So what's the machine I see in your TikToks that, like the green? I'm guessing it's a harvesting machine, but it looks like it rolls up behind the machine and comes up and over.
You mean the peanut digger?
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, we call that a peanut digger. Some call it a peanut inverter. That's the first step of peanut harvest. So we have to dig the peanuts, flip them upside down so they can dry before the combine can get them. So what that thing does, it runs a blade right under the peanut. What is it, 2 to 4 inches under the peanut, so you're not cutting any peanuts, cutting the root. You run it under there, and then it goes up you call them, I guess, rattle bars, and then back there it's got some bars with a roller that flips them upside down, and they sit in the sun hopefully about 6 to 8 days around there, depending if you want to pay for drying or not, or what the weather's like, and then they're dry enough, then the plant is finally dried enough where the combine can do a good job separating the peanut and the vine.
So you don't have to spray to kill the peanut plant like you might to make cotton stop growing. You just cut them out of the ground.
Yep. Yeah, it has to be done. Yeah. You got to run that digger, and like I said, runs blades, and it's a pretty simple machine, but slow process because mine's a 6-row, and we go average about 2.83 miles an hour. So.
Jeez.
So how did they do it before
process.
Mechanized machines? Like, how did we harvest peanuts a long time ago?
A horse?
Like, do we with a
how deep? Yeah. Sorry, answer Dave's question first.
They pulled them. They pulled them by hand back in the day.
Oh, pulled it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because before we dig, we do a bunch of peanut pulling to see how ready they are. You just go and grab the plant and pull.
Must be pretty loose ground, because you try to do that on like a soybean or a corn, and you end up breaking the stalk off.
Yeah, we have very sandy soil.
Yeah.
So how deep do peanuts grow? Like, how deep are you digging?
How deep we're digging?
Yeah.
Man, I've never gone there and measured, but top of my head, we try not to leave too big of a tap root, because then there's too much root in your combine more to separate. But man, 3-4 inches.
Oh, really?
2 to 4 inches.
So all those peanuts are only a couple inches below the surface.
Yep. Right there.
Huh. Wow.
Are you a modest peanut picker grower?
Yeah. Yep.
I know that because of field rows. And so,
I have a self-propelled Amadas.
Oh, he's jealous. That's a BTO peanut picker there.
Yeah.
big time operator.
Yeah. So I've listened to Field Row's podcast a little bit. So do you guys have like buying groups or buying stations? Is that how you get the peanuts to market?
Yeah, we have local companies that come and give you an offer on a contract, and then here's what they'll offer you per ton, and then they take care of the rest. If you sign it, they ask you how much you want to plant, pounds per acre or seeds per acre, whatever, and later on you pick up the seed, or they bring you their seed, and then later on you tell them, hey, we're harvesting. They come there with their trucks. Then that's it. They take care of the rest.
That was what I found kind of interesting when Field Rose was talking about it. Was like they don't own the trucks or the wagons that they go into the buying point with. I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. You don't have to have the infrastructure for that.
We started our own co-op for corn around here.
You would own a fleet of semis.
You would, but think of all the guys that might use you because you took something out of their operation to make it easier.
And
solving
Tanner
problems.
knows that trucks are the biggest issue right now for his family anyway.
I had to look it up, Oobree, that Seminole, you're not too far away from New Mexico, and you're just
we're right there.
You're just south of Lubbock. Lubbock. Yeah. Good. Well, listeners, we don't want to get too far into this. We've done filtered our beer.
The beer is filtered.
And Corey's poured it.
It took about 20 minutes to filter 2 beers.
I don't want it to get warm. Oobree, do you think this is going to be better or worse?
That's regular Busch Light. That's filtered, Dave.
I think that's going to be worse. That's going to be either pure water or it's going to be very bitter. I don't know.
So it still kind of looks like beer.
It is? Yeah, it came out clear at the beginning, but let's try it.
Busch Light.
Tastes like Busch Light.
It's flat.
I'm getting like a fruity note.
I thought that like
right away.
like a cider beer.
Like an apricot or a. It's just very flat. It is like a watered down
Busch Light.
beer.
Try regular Busch Light. Oh, yeah, the carbonation's not there. Like you
Right.
said, it's flat.
So
But I don't think I've ever got a fruity note when
Out of a Busch
I
Light.
drank a Busch Light.
I kind of like the filtered beer.
Dave would like to
Bet
filter
you
beer.
do.
I don't feel like I'm going to get bloated after this.
Oobree, do you have a favorite beer or a drink?
Probably no hangover.
No, I don't. I don't drink anymore, so no favorite beer right now. But I don't even think you can get Busch around here. I'm not 100% certain, because I guess I don't drink, but I don't think I see it. I don't see Busch.
The
Do you?
Texas beer is Amberbach, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I was going to say, every time I'm in Texas, there's always Texas has its own country music as well. So there's the normal country music that the mainstream listens to, but every time I'm in Texas, there's all of the local Texas people, and they really support them, but they're ones you don't hear about, like Tyler Rischen would be huge there.
Right.
Wait
Yeah.
to have to go to Texas.
He likes Iowa. We have Iowa country music.
That's right.
No? No?
So now jumping back to the comment that you made right away at the beginning that, and now I can't remember, are you still a part of a Mennonite community, or you were a Mennonite family that moved to the U.S.?
Man, I guess there's a whole podcast for itself right there, if you want to get down to that. But I guess you could just say our background is Mennonite. There's Mennonites all over the U.S. and world, and then obviously it's they all live in their own kind of way, like different sets of rules. Kind of like Amish. We're nowhere near Amish, but there is some Mennonites in Mexico that live just as strictly as Amish. And then we are more just man. I guess I wouldn't be. I would just say I'm not very different than most of you guys.
Yep.
But my background is Mennonite.
Okay.
Because
We should do a show on the backgrounds of all that and the different agricultures, because my pigs all come from a Hutterite colony up in South Dakota.
South Dakota, Montana area, yeah.
And I tell you what, they have more technology on their farm than we do. I mean, they're cutting edge. So, and they're just salt of the earth, nicest people.
Because the difference, Oobree, between Amish and Mennonite is the outward-facing practices, right? Amish won't use mechanical-driven machines, electricity, so on and so forth. Is that correct?
Yes, and some of the Mennonites, the more religious ones and more held back ones, they're kind of the same thing.
Okay.
It's crazy if you go back a little bit. So, my parents were both more traditional, and they both, grew up more in Mexico. My dad back and forth from here to Mexico, and so my dad actually got kicked out of the church in Mexico a little bit after he got married there to my mom, because he was driving a car or truck. I forgot which one it was, but yeah, he was driving a vehicle. So that's right there with us, to where we're now more, our eyes are actually open to what Christianity is, towards more of what for them is just religion, set rules,
Couple of my
So yeah, that's right there.
couple of my best friends that are auctioneers, world champion auctioneers, are Mennonite, and there's 5-6 brothers in the family, all with the first name with a J, and 2 are world champions, 3 are world champion auctioneers, and so yeah, there's something in the water for sure.
Wow. That's fun. And, like you said, it's your background, and it probably still has a pretty good influence on the way you farm and the way you make your farming decisions. But yeah, I agree, Corey. I think it'd be kind of fun to do a show going on the backgrounds of different communities.
Yeah. Because it seems like everyone knows a little bit, but they don't really know,
That's why I asked. I have, it's cool having a podcast because you can ask things to people, and the excuse is it's for a podcast.
Just trying to learn here.
It's like know anything about peanuts.
Yep. So, is your cotton picking cotton or stripping cotton?
Stripping cotton. I guess mine's all stripping cotton, and if you see in one of my recent videos, that was a picker. and that's my brother's. He has some peanut cotton that has to be picked, and so he grows quite a bit of that. So he bought himself a picker.
Okay.
But I have a cotton stripper. Majority of stuff around here is cotton strippers.
Okay.
But then that peanut stuff you can't strip, so the pickers are here.
So do you bale that then? The big white bales that I see?
Most of it, yes. I still have the older style cotton stripper. We make those big modules.
Oh.
So you have a bull buggy and a module builder, so a whole lot more work, but a whole lot cheaper too.
Right.
And besides the rye that you're planting for cover crop, it's just cotton and just peanuts?
That's the main thing. Some years, like last year, I had two circles hailed out completely, and then it was too late to go back with cotton. It had decent moisture with the hail, came some rain, and then I planted some milo, grain sorghum, some people call it, but we call it milo.
Yep.
A little bit of that, but that was the first time I planted it, and this year I don't have any of that, so it's mainly cotton, peanuts, and
The market was
rye.
pretty good for milo there a year or two ago. I know China was buying it pretty good. Did you come out all right on that?
I did, yeah. It was more of a little bit of a side crop, and it sold it for a decent price and a little bit of side money. It turned out good.
Nice.
So you said circles, which means you're irrigated then.
Yes, 100%.
Well, that's got to help a little bit on consistency and managing, because it's been pretty dry, hasn't it, been down there?
Oh, yeah, very dry. Yeah, we had a record drought year, worse than 2011. And, but yeah, it helps, but it doesn't help that our water is almost all gone. So there's that. We're pretty low on irrigation, pretty low on water. Like, I can water half of my circles at a time, right under. And some people can do actually less than that. So it's dropped quite a bit over the last 10, 20 years.
I just sold a pivot farm in Kansas, western Kansas, almost to Texas. We were almost just north Texas, Oklahoma border, right in there. And I was surprised how much the irrigation counts for everything, but it had been dry there. And what we actually sold was the little sliver out of the corner, the little triangle in the corner that doesn't touch the circle.
Oh.
I'm like, well, what's that worth? It doesn't touch the circle. It's not worth a whole lot.
Yeah.
But it was dry. Man, it was dry.
You can I've seen them get those like swinging arms that can like swing out to the corner or whatever, but seems like a lot of moving parts, literally.
Yep.
You know? So.
Yeah. I wish we had enough water for those. Like, we can't even run a big end gun because, we have such low water.
Huh.
And on social media, I always have people ask, why don't you plant the corners or put an end gun on your pivot? I just laugh. Like, we can't even water all our pivots at a time.
Yeah. So are you physically getting limited by like a regulation body, or you just can't get the pressure, can't get the water to water that much?
Our wells are like, they're just doing what they can do. That's it. They're still letting us drill wells, so we drill wells, new well every now and then, try to in a little different area. But we have so many wells already, and we kind of have what we have.
How long do you think you got?
Say again?
How long do you think you have until it's all gone?
Oh, that's $1 million question. I've asked people that, and people ask me that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Hopefully long enough to pay off some land.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Sell the water rights, you can pay the land off. I think they'll get more for the water than they will for the land.
Yeah.
For sure. Around here, certain areas just have a little bit more water in other areas, like certain sections, and it sells according to how much water there is.
Yeah. So I'm curious, the truck that you're sitting in right now, how many miles do you have on that truck?
This is actually a different one. The other one actually went to the shop now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the head gaskets went out, and that one has that one still drove. I drove it to the shop, so it needed new head gaskets, and I'm gonna get a fix and hop back in that one. So that one has 523,000.
Whoa.
Gee, I traded off at 150 thinking I was high.
500. What year is that truck?
That's a 2011. That was my first truck or full-time truck, and it's been on the farm the whole time. So it's done a lot of work, and obviously a lot of repairs on it, but all just wear and tear parts mainly. So this is the first time that the heads are going to come off the engine, so
Really?
pretty impressive.
523,000?
Yes.
And 10 years, 11 years.
Yes. So yeah, that's because, like I said, my farms are 50 miles each way. So
So what kind of truck is it?
that's a 2011 LML Duramax.
Duramax.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh. There you go. That's a good commercial for him right there.
Yeah, that's right. You should sell it back to Chevy and
No free ads. No free.
put it in a commercial.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But I guess it's impressive. For me, it's impressive because it's a farm truck. But there's a hot shotters out there that have that on a 2018 or 2019. But to me, one farm mile is like 10 highway miles. So
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, for sure.
After driving truck this weekend with all the washboards on our gravel roads up here in Iowa, I don't know if you've got paved roads or if they're gravel, but God, when it's freezing temps and those washboards are in place, they'll shake you all to pieces.
It is amazing that farm semis last as long as they do for the abuse they get put through.
Yeah.
And what they're drove in.
So how'd you get so involved on social media?
I guess I just seen it was a thing, or people were doing it, and I guess it all started with buying my first drone, and that was in 2016. I bought a DJI Phantom 4,
Yep.
and then I just posted it. Then I just had a Facebook and YouTube. And YouTube was very small, like a few hundred followers. And those are all because of my truck, that same Duramax. So I kind of started there when I got that truck, did some stuff to it, the fun stuff. And that was one of the first 2011s, the LML. They changed them where they had the urea and all that. So it was one of the first ones that, didn't have it.
Yeah.
Not in the rural, but like in the area. So I just put some videos on YouTube and people like that. Then from there, YouTube was nothing for quite a few years. But then I bought that drone in 2016, and I just posted a few random pictures on my Facebook. Just your friends and family from your hometown. And had like a few hundred friends. And I guess I realized people took interest. Like Facebook back in the Facebook, you post something, a few likes, or no comments, just something random you posted. But these drone pictures, they instead of getting like 10 likes on a random personal post. Posted a drone picture of me running my tractor and planter, got like 40 likes. I'm like, whoa. I think I had like 200 friends. And I guess that right there, I think I kind of sparked an idea, or just the passion of, hey, people like this and I like doing it. So from there on, it's just slowly started growing a little bit more, and eventually started Instagram with, was it 2018, I think? And started on there. On YouTube, I just posted random videos, just montages, and like a 5-minute video of planting or harvesting with some background music. That's it, And YouTube never took off like crazy. Last year it did well, then it dropped off again. I'm sure you guys know how hard YouTube is.
Yeah, we suck. We suck at YouTube.
We haven't had the takeoff point yet. It's just so hard.
I guess mine took off where I thought, I'm going to keep going, and then it just went back down. Like, I guess that one video, that was where I had that 72-foot lister bar on a 3-point tractor. That was my brother's field, his operation. That took off because that was, pretty crazy cool. Like, nobody's seen that before.
72 foot?
Yeah, it's a 72-foot, we call it a lister bar. It makes beds.
Yeah.
So it's a 20-foot row, and we're on 36-inch spacing. So it's 72 foot on 3-point, and it's a little overkill, but he has some dry land, just big dry land sections, just a giant block, and it works pretty good.
So do you have to have, if it's 72 feet wide out, I haven't seen this video, do you have to have the wings tied up or something?
We run cables on most of our stuff from the end to the front of the tractor. We put a pull bar in the front. That way it doesn't jerk side to side too much. And the wings do fold up, or when you turn around, you just fold up as you turn around, so you don't dig in the dirt. Swing left and right. So that thing, it's a little overkill, but in good conditions, if your land's not uneven, it works.
So what kind of horsepower does it take to pull a 72-foot lister bar?
He had a 310 on it, and it was maxed out. And I think he did say it did have a small tune in it, so you could just say, 350 is my guess.
Sure.
And they're going like 5 miles an hour. So, and then he also used that same bar to do a little bit of sand fighting. You put the smaller, we call them busters or duck feet on there, where you throw a little bit of wet dirt on top on your dried out soil, or like if it rained a lot, it kind of blows around here a lot. So he uses that same thing for sand fighting. So he likes it. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, that video did good. So there, I thought YouTube would do better for a while, and then it dropped off again. And then Instagram was doing good, or okay, you could say. Had like 2,000 followers, 3,000. And then Reels became a thing, and that's where that kind of blew up more. And then since I was doing Reels anyways, didn't have TikTok till end of last year, or I think I started September 2021.
Wow.
Or August, around there. I had tried it before, and I put some of the same videos out on Instagram and YouTube on there, and it just did nothing. I'm like, well, then I just got off of it, and then I'm like, I'll just try again. So I just kept posting them. And TikTok, I just started posting everything I had, like saving my phone, since I put them on Instagram anyways. And all of a sudden, it finally blew up a little bit on TikTok. But that's very up and down too. So that's kind of how it all started. Just seeing others do it and enjoying flying a drone.
Nice. Well, you got any big plans for the future? Try any other social media platforms or try any new crops?
I'm not sure. I guess we'll see what the social media world does. It always goes to a new one. And then we're getting to be the older people, and then we're not going to be cool on there. So
I've already noticed this.
Yeah,
It's going to go to Vine. I have this theory.
So why did back to Vine?
Yeah, it's going to go back to Vine. Here's why. Elon Musk bought Twitter, right? Why did he buy Twitter? Okay, lots of different theories out there.
owns Vine.
But he just asked Mr. Beast on Twitter the other day, how can we reignite Vine and make it better than TikTok so that it's a U.S.-owned company and not China-owned?
Yeah.
If that would take off, then he's going to have he's not dumb. He realized that TikTok was the next social media. He's going to say, let's take TikTok, make it better, and bring it back to Vine or call it something else.
Right. But that still doesn't fix the problem that we're getting older and we're not the cool people anymore.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying, what's the next platform going forward? We're going back to Vine. I'm starting that rumor.
I like how you think you were cool at one point.
Ouch. Ouch. That's great. That's fun. Well, Oobree, we've had a lot of fun. We spent quite a bit of time here, and I know you've got a tractor outside your door we want to let you get back to. If we cut it off now, that gives us more of a conversation to have the next time. But we ask every one of our guests the same question. What is some of the best advice that you have ever been given? And while you think about that, listeners, remember that we grabbed a Brita water pitcher today and poured Busch Light, Iowa's water, into it. And Corey found a fruity note.
Yeah.
A fruity note. I just thought it was flat and watered down. I wish we could see the filter to see what's in it.
Well, we're going to try something else next, but I think I better flush it with some water first.
Flush it first. Yeah. No, it's been a lot of fun. Listeners, if you've got ideas for guests or if you yourself want to be on the show, farm4profitllc@gmail.com. You can send us a text message, 515-207-9640. But now, Oobree, what is the best advice you have ever been given?
Man, that's a hard one because there's probably so many, but you don't remember them, But they're kind of burned into you. But just thinking off my head, I guess it would just be never compare yourself to your neighbor. And then that goes back to a quote I seen. I think a friend told me this before I seen it, but a quote from I think it's Theodore Roosevelt, that comparison is a thief of joy. And so that's always kind of stuck with me since I heard that. I think a friend told me that one time. And growing up or first starting off farming, my dad told me one time, my neighbor's cotton was looking a whole lot better than mine. I thought I was just doing everything wrong when I was younger, the first few years. And he just told me, never compare, to focus on your stuff. So I think it's always stuck with me because, comparison is thief of joy. If all you can think about is other people's stuff, you'll never be satisfied no matter what you have, because there's always somebody out there with something greater. So that's always helped me out.
I like it. That was really good.
That a lot of people, including myself, could probably take that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. Remind our listeners on how they can find you on all these different platforms. We want them to come. If they haven't met you or followed you yet, we want them to do that.
You can find me just about all platforms under Oobree Farms. That's OOBREE Farms.
That's right. OOBREE, as Corey said. No, we appreciate you jumping on. This was a lot of fun. Like I said, I was curious, and I'm sure our listeners were curious as well. So thank you so much for hanging out with us.
No problem. It's fun. It goes by so quick. You feel like you didn't get enough to talk about. But
yeah, we'll do it again.
We'll be back.
Absolutely. Stay in touch. Corey, what do you tell the listeners?
Crack a bush light. You deserve it.